Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the video. Welcome back. How are we all doing? I hope we're doing all right. Today, I wanted to just make a quick little thing about Umbral Monument, our seemingly, supposedly, currently active endgame mode for Arknights Endfield. Now, before going into this, I use pridwin.gg, and this is how I found out about Umbral Monument. I did not play any of the beta, so I do not know the capacity in which this might have been available back then. So the only thing that I'm going to be going over is just everything that I know now that it has been added into the game. So, as we can see here, there are two stages currently of Monument Etching Old Wounds. This has a challenge event of 23 days and 20 hours. You are able to access this once you reach Administrator Authority level 30 or higher. Now, what this is itself is that these are combat stages that are designed to test the limits of your team, your build crafting, and your strategy. What we currently have active right now is those Forsaken by the Land. Now, unlike other endgame modes that you might have played in games like Honkai Star Rail, Zenless Zone Zero, Genshin Impact, and Wuthering Waves, as far as it stands by the time this video goes up, you do not need a second team in order to do any of these three fights. You only need one team built. However, variety might be beneficial depending on how you view all of these different modes. I have done the normal version of these modes, and I've only tried Agony once. Keep in mind, I'm just offering what it means to get into this. If you want a more advanced look into it, I will do my best to potentially provide a video going more in-depth about it. Now, survive the gas. There is a mist that will constantly deal damage to all operators in the team. When the controlled operator receives HP treatment, other teammates will receive 70% of that HP treatment as well. I will be going over all agony difficulties at once. This is just a massive wave after wave after wave fight. It is an endurance test. It is designed to wear you down. Keep in mind that, again, when the active operator receives HP treatment, your other teammates receive 70% of that. So you can either go all in on the healing or kind of spread it out and play different operators just so they can get some bonus healing. It's probably better to just stay as your main DPS, of course, since that is the one that you're kind of revolving all of your actions around and you're able to keep track of, but there is no shame in maybe using two healers on the team if you are able to. Unorthodox tactics. Enemies cannot move, but they are harder to interrupt and continuously gain attack. Pretty much all of the enemies that you're going to be facing are ranged enemies. They will sit still in a small square, basically, with 4 points, and you will see a meter pop up below their health bar.
I hate trouble, but boredom.
That shows how many stacks of this attack boost that they're getting. So you can actually change your strategy based on who you see have these attack boosts, if you want to just take out the one with the most, or you just want to take out the weaker ones. It's all up to you, but keep in mind they will continuously get stronger the longer they stay alive.
We'll see this through.
As you're going to see right here. This is the formation that they all have. And you can see that some of them are now getting attack boosts. They will get stronger as time goes on, and every time you defeat an enemy, another one will spawn in. After all of these guys are defeated, the last set of 3 enemies that spawn will be those big worms that kind of pop up out of the ground, those Originium worms. I don't remember what their names are, admittedly, but they will just be in a triangle formation for you to take care of. And those are really, really tough, so make sure that you have enough supplies stocked up to be able to brute force your way for those if need be. The last stage, Ballista and Axe, has you take on 2 mini-bosses, 2 elite enemies / mini-bosses that will fight as a team. How this one works is that there is a stage that is being blocked off by Steam as a barrier of sorts. One of them, the melee guy, will be the first one to jump down and start a fight with you. When you take the first one down to 1 HP, effectively, they will jump back behind the barrier, and then the other guy, the ranged guy, will jump in. So just to get a sequence as to how this fight will start, this is roughly how it goes. Once this guy gets down to 1 HP, 1 hit effectively, he will jump back behind the Steam, the ranged guy will come in, and you will take them down to 1 HP, and then both of them will jump down at once back onto the field with half of their HP. In normal mode, it is recommended that you just burst down the one that you think is going to be more annoying to deal with, or maybe the one that's easier to deal with, kind of whatever your mindset is at that time, in order to just then make it easier to win the fight, basically. However, in Agony mode, things change. For Survive the Gas, all tacticals and consumables cannot be used. That is for every stage in Agony mode. So you're just going to be relying on your individual skills, your ability to dodge, and your strategic investment into your teams. The main change in Survive the Gas is that the mist will deal more damage, new enemies will appear. Admittedly, I do not know what these enemies are, but we can check the enemy intel. And these are the types of enemies that you'll be seeing again. So when in doubt, always check the enemy intel to see who you'll be facing and maybe modify your teams accordingly. Now let's see if it's any different. Yeah, see, there's a bit of a difference between them. So always read the intel if need be. But when the controlled operator receives HP treatment, other teammates will receive 50% of that HP treatment as opposed to 70%. So it might be more beneficial to keep in mind that is bringing 2 healers worth it? Because you might end up not having as much damage output, but you will have more healing to go around. And of course, tacticals and consumables cannot be used. Remember to keep that in mind as you're doing this, if you plan to do it on Agony difficulty. Because, as I'll go over in a moment, you might not need to do it. Unorthodox tactics. The enemies will be harder to interrupt and continuously gain attack, but the enemy's attack will increase at a much faster rate. If we look at... oh yeah, I can check here. Nidworm, that's what they're called. There we go. So they will just gain attack at a faster rate, making it more difficult to deal with them. And then Ballista and Axe, the main difference is the fact that when both elite enemies are on the field, they will share the damage that they take. So you cannot burst one down. You will have to take them both out at the same time, which means both are on the field for longer. Realistically, with that being said, whoever you deem to be the easiest is kind of up to you, because one of the challenges that you need to do for this, and it closed off, good job me. So one of the things that you're going to need to do is challenge one of them in Agony mode one time. However, if you noticed, I didn't have this challenge complete when I challenged it. So if you'll notice, in order to complete the challenges, you only need to try them technically, unless it says complete. You do not need to finish it to get the reward. So challenging any Umbral Monument stage 5 times. I already had 4 at that point because I did the 3 ones on normal, 1 on Agony to just get the challenge done and to try it out. And I got the rewards for it. So if you are worried about Agony mode, you do not need to worry about completing it if you are just interested in the rewards. You only need to try it. Of course, your main incentive for doing it on Agony difficulty is to get the badges. You can show these off in your orbiter, and this way other people can see them as well. You will need to complete all of the Agony mode challenges in order to get the enhanced version of this badge. So this has been your quick overview for Umbral Monument and what to expect. As a reminder, you only need 1 team right now. I don't know if that might change in the future, but as far as this video is concerned, you don't need one. So focus on whatever team you've been wanting to build so far, whichever one you're most comfortable with, take it into Umbral Monument and get those ore barrels. You're going to need more copies of Last Ride after all. Thank you for watching.